The production of Peter Jackson's The Lord of the Rings trilogy stands as one of cinema's most ambitious undertakings, featuring groundbreaking special effects, elaborate battle sequences, breathtaking New Zealand landscapes, and an ensemble cast that brought J.R.R. Tolkien's epic fantasy world to life. Yet for actor Sean Bean, who portrayed the noble yet tragic warrior Boromir in the films, one of the biggest challenges had nothing to do with sword fights, emotional monologues, or grueling makeup sessions. It was the helicopters required to reach remote filming locations. Bean, now 66, recently reflected on this unusual hurdle alongside his co-star Viggo Mortensen, who played the ranger-turned-king Aragorn. The conversation took place in a major film magazine feature commemorating the 25th anniversary of the first installment, The Fellowship of the Ring, which premiered on December 19, 2001. The interview delved into behind-the-scenes memories, including the practical difficulties posed by New Zealand's rugged terrain. When asked about his well-known aversion to helicopters during the shoot, Bean readily confirmed the issue. At the time, he admitted he harbored a deep fear of flying, particularly in smaller aircraft like helicopters. Mortensen, now 67, chimed in to emphasize just how frequently such flights were necessary. The trilogy's locations spanned vast, often inaccessible areas of New Zealand, from dense forests to towering mountains and icy glaciers, making helicopters the most efficient mode of transport for cast and crew. Mortensen recalled a specific, memorable sequence involving Boromir's pivotal temptation by the One Ring. This emotionally charged scene unfolded high in the snowy mountains, atop a glacier-like environment at significant altitude. The first day of shooting there required a helicopter ride lasting about 40 minutes. Conditions were turbulent, with strong downdrafts causing the aircraft to drop repeatedly. Bean, gripping the seat tightly, was visibly terrified throughout the journey. During that flight, Bean confided in Mortensen about his discomfort. He revealed that he had already needed medication just to board the plane from England to New Zealand, and he was adamant that he would not endure another helicopter trip. Mortensen remembered thinking at the time that this posed a serious problem, given the demanding schedule and numerous high-altitude shoots still ahead. True to his word, Bean devised a workaround that showcased both his determination and physical endurance. The very next morning, the production needed to return to a mountain location outside Queenstown for another scene. Rather than board the helicopter again, Bean announced he would hike up the entire mountain starting at 2 a.m. He set off alone well before dawn, dressed in full Boromir costume, including heavy armor, cloak, boots, and gear, while the rest of the cast and crew prepared for their usual aerial transport. Remarkably, despite the grueling ascent in darkness and full regalia, Bean managed to arrive at the summit roughly at the same time as everyone else who had flown in. Mortensen noted with amusement that while Bean reached the location on schedule, he was understandably exhausted from the effort. The hike was no small feat. New Zealand's mountainous regions feature steep, uneven trails, unpredictable weather, and significant elevation gains, all made more challenging by the weight and restriction of period costume elements. Bean himself looked back on the experience with fondness, describing it as part of the grand adventure that defined the entire production. He spoke of the filming not only as a professional milestone but as a unique period filled with camaraderie, unexpected challenges, and personal triumphs. The shenanigans and adventures, off-camera, he said, made the project unlike anything else he had encountered in his long career. The conversation also touched on one of the trilogy's most beloved moments, Boromir's death scene in The Fellowship of the Ring. In this sequence, the character succumbs after defending the hobbits from orc attackers, sharing a poignant final exchange with Aragorn. Mortensen described it as potentially his favorite scene across the entire trilogy. No elaborate effects, no fantastical creatures, just two actors connecting deeply on screen. The moment highlights the reconciliation between Boromir and Aragorn, who had clashed earlier due to differing loyalties and perspectives on the ring. Their shared heritage as men of Gondor ultimately binds them in Boromir's last breaths, creating a raw human climax amid the larger epic.